Hey everyone, back again. I'm Cooper. This is another episode of the recap of the HBO show Girls. So in this episode, this is the 5th episode of season 1. It's called Hard Being Easy. And I guess I don't really get the name of that one, but also like it's been a few minutes since I watched the episode, so it might have just been something that I forgot about. But anyway, Marnie and Charlie are still pretty mad at Hannah for writing those things, and Marnie ends up going over to Charlie's apartment for the first time to try to get him back, and she kind of puts a lot on the plate for what she'll do to get him back, and then he bites, but then it turns out that the things he wants are kind of weird to her, which is understandable because they were weird. He wanted their faces to be like really close all the time, and they were kissing, which I guess that's weird to want it because that kind of just already happens when you're kissing and doing stuff like that. So like making a big deal out of it, being like weird about it, doesn't really help. So she decides that she does want to break up, and so they break up. Hannah is still dealing with the kind of harassment situation at work, so she decides that she's going to make an official complaint, and tries to seduce her boss, to like strengthen the case, I get, or maybe she was just being weird. And he seems pretty pissed about the whole thing, because he's like married, and so he was just like being creepy as a hobby instead of professionally. So he's a good guy, and she ends up quitting after the confrontation, even though he said that she could keep her job if she wanted, but she seemed, I think, kind of angry about that as well, so she quit, which is not going to be good, because her parents cut her off. They did that back in the first episode of the show, called Pilot. So that's kind of be trouble for her, I think. Let's see what else happens in that episode. She goes over to Adams, and he's mad at her for some reason. I think because of something that happened. I just kind of get, there's just a lot that happens with him, and he seems so uninterested in it, and I think it's because that's like his character, but I think he's so good at playing like a bored guy that it makes it seem like he's bored being in the show, and that makes me bored. So I'm like kind of maybe looking at my phone a little bit more during that stuff, so I don't always remember that. So I bet he's the one who says hard being easy. That seems like something that he would say. And so they're doing some stuff over at his place, and they're being really weird to each other. Jessa runs into an ex of hers, and they have sex at Jessa and Shoshana's apartment, even though this guy is like engaged, I think. And Shoshana watches, which is also very strange, and Jessa gets kind of mad at her about that, so I'm guessing that might cause some tension later on. And that's it.